You've been using your voice as if it were a toy, throwing words into the air, unaware of the hidden power vibrating in every syllable you speak. But the universe doesn't play with sound, it responds to it. Every word that leaves your lips is a coded instruction, a subtle command sent into the invisible fabric of creation. Your throat isn't just a passage for sound. It's a divine engine, a quantum transmitter tuned to the very same frequency through which God spoke the universe into existence. Modern physics calls it vibration. The ancients called it logos. You call it speaking. But the truth is, what escapes your mouth is a command, a vibrational sequence shaping the very field you live within. And this is where awakening begins. You must remember, you're not a body that has a soul. You're a soul temporarily using a body. And that soul carries the magic of sound and vibration as divine tools to mold reality to your command. Don't just hear these words, feel them. When this video ends, apply this knowledge to your life. Observe, sense. Notice how reality begins to respond to the sound of your own voice. The magic that was always there will start revealing itself before your eyes. Everything that exists, every molecule, every star, every thought, is vibration condensed into form. Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, said that matter is energy whose vibration has been slowed down enough to be perceived by the senses. The universe isn't made of things, it's made of frequencies. And the most powerful frequency generator you possess is your voice. When you speak, you're not just describing the world, you're sculpting the quantum field that listens back to you. The sound of your voice reverberates through the invisible layers of existence, instructing energy to take shape. In the quantum model, mere observation turns probability into form. Consciousness selects a single outcome from infinite possibilities. But sound, especially sound infused with emotion and intention, goes beyond passive observation. It creates. The moment you articulate a word, you're encoding information into the quantum field, giving shape to the unseen. Ancient civilizations knew this long before modern science. The Egyptians called it Heka, the creative power of the word. The Greeks called it logos, the divine principle that brings order to chaos. And when the sacred text says, "In the beginning was the word," it wasn't a metaphor, it was spiritual physics. Modern cosmology repeats the same pattern. From the Big Bang, the primordial sound explosion, to the cosmic hum still echoing in the background of space, everything began with sound. And every atom in your body still dances to that original frequency. But here's the secret almost no one told you. Your personal voice follows the very same law. The words you speak modulate the electromagnetic field around you, subtly shifting the probabilities that define your experiences. Quantum field theory shows that particles exist as waves until something interacts with them. And when your voice enters that field, you are that interaction. You are the collapse that turns possibility into pattern, energy into form. That's why Neville Goddard said that God and the human imagination are one and the same. And he wasn't speaking in metaphors. He was describing the mechanics of creation. Imagination sets the frequency, emotion provides the fuel, and the voice carries that energy into the material world. Every time you declare an "I am," you're writing a new line of code into the matrix of your reality. But be careful. Every word spoken without awareness inserts a dissonant frequency into your field. Think of it scientifically. When one tuning fork vibrates, another nearby begins to resonate, without physical contact, purely through vibrational coherence. That's sympathetic resonance. Your words work the same way. When you speak with conviction, the entire environment reorganizes itself to reflect the vibration you've sent out. Sound waves may fade, but the energetic signature you create remains imprinted in the field, like ripples in space-time, continuing to act, to attract, to shape. Because in the end, your voice isn't just sound, it's consciousness itself in motion. And once you truly understand that, you'll never speak the same way again. You invoke, you direct, you create. Jacobo Grinberg, the Mexican neuroscientist who explored what he called the neuronal field, discovered something extraordinary. Consciousness isn't just a product of the brain. It directly influences measurable physical systems. He found that when two people entered a state of deep coherence, their brainwave patterns synchronized, even when they were separated by miles. Grinberg's data revealed something even more astonishing. Consciousness doesn't reside solely in the brain. It exists within an interconnected, invisible field that links all living beings. When you speak with full awareness, your voice travels through that same field. This isn't poetic metaphor, it's quantum entanglement in action. Every word you speak is a force that organizes and shapes the reality around you. That's exactly why careless speech is dangerous. Every time you say, "I can't," "I'm tired," or "I'm not enough," you transmit a specific frequency that reorganizes your field around limitation. The universe isn't punishing you, it's simply obeying your vibration. The field doesn't understand sarcasm, irony, or self-deprecation. It executes whatever command carries the strongest emotional charge. If you speak with fear, the field creates evidence of threat. If you speak with clarity, it builds stability. In the holographic universe described by Michael Talbot, every fragment contains the information of the whole. That means every sound you emit doesn't just affect your immediate world. It ripples through the collective matrix, altering entire patterns of reality. The human voice is quite literally holographic. It carries the blueprint of consciousness into the living fabric of space-time. But here's the key. Sound without awareness is just static. Power without coherence is chaos. To unlock the true potential of your voice, you must speak in total alignment, thought, emotion, and intention moving as one. That's the secret buried beneath centuries of myth and mysticism. When what you think, feel, and speak becomes congruent, your words stop being mere words. They become instruments of order, shaping matter with precision. Imagine this. Every phrase you speak sends ripples through the invisible sea of energy around you. Chaotic ripples cancel each other out, but rhythmic, coherent, focused ripples, they converge into standing waves, points of stability that attract reality toward them. Cymatics, the science of visible sound, proves that vibration organizes matter into perfect patterns. Sand on a vibrating plate arranges itself into precise geometric symmetries. Now imagine, the plate is the field of your life, the sand is your circumstances, and your words are the frequency shaping that pattern. Logos, then, isn't an ancient myth. It's a living mechanism, the algorithm of creation encoded into every human voice. You were never meant to beg the universe for change. You were designed to command it, through coherence, through sound, through the authority of consciousness. When your voice aligns with your emotional tension and your inner vision, you're not describing reality, you're programming it. And the next time you speak, remember, you're not whispering into the void. You're interacting with the operating system of existence. Every tone, every syllable, every pause, it's information in motion. Speak with clarity, speak with conviction, speak knowing the field is listening, waiting for your instruction, because it is. The universe doesn't respond to language, it responds to resonance. And when your resonance carries the frequency of certainty, creation has no choice but to obey. You're not just one voice among billions. You are the frequency that builds worlds. Most people feel emotion as static, chaotic waves of energy moving without direction or design. They try to create new realities by thinking, while their nervous systems broadcast the opposite signal. Every affirmation gets drowned out by the low hum of fear, doubt, and resistance. But emotion isn't noise. It's electric current. the tension that powers every word you release into the field of perception. In neuroscience, Antonio Damasio describes emotion as the neural map of the body's state, your biology reporting the harmony or dissonance between what you believe and what you experience. Candace Pert called emotions molecules of communication, biochemical signals connecting brain, body, and consciousness into a single feedback system. When that system vibrates coherently, when the brain's thought, the heart's rhythm, and the body's chemistry align, you enter what the HeartMath Institute calls physiological coherence. In that state, your entire being behaves as one unified circuit. Every cell listens, every cell agrees. That's the secret engine behind what the ancients called faith. It isn't blind belief, it's energetic consistency. When your emotional tension matches your verbal frequency, you create resonance. When it doesn't, you create interference. Imagine trying to broadcast on two radio stations at the same time. One frequency announces abundance, the other whispers scarcity. The signals cancel each other out. The result is static, a life that keeps replaying the same patterns while insisting it's trying to change. Modern psychology calls this cognitive emotional dissonance. You repeat, "I'm confident," while your limbic system is still firing off danger signals. You affirm safety, but your body trembles in micro-reactions of old failures. The subconscious doesn't read words, it reads sensations. If your mouth says yes, but your pulse says no, the body believes the pulse. The field of perception obeys the strongest frequency. That's why emotion needs to be trained, like tension on a wire. Too little tension, and the circuit collapses. Too much, and it burns out in drama. The art lies in perfect modulation, the ability to sustain intensity without distortion. Practices like coherent breathing and focused visualization aren't mystical indulgences. They're neuro-electrical calibration techniques, training the autonomic nervous system so emotion can amplify intention instead of hijacking it. The brain's electrical activity, measured in microvolts, instantly responds to emotional state. EEG studies show that gratitude and compassion increase alpha coherence, a relaxed yet alert frequency associated with creativity and clarity. On the other hand, prolonged anger or fear produces erratic beta spikes, fragmenting attention and shortening cognitive range. In physics, coherence allows waves to build amplitude. In biology, it allows consciousness to generate power. Your emotional signature becomes the carrier wave on which your words travel. Think of emotion as color added to sound. The same phrase, spoken in despair or in certainty, triggers completely different physiological responses, in you and in those who hear it. Mirror neurons reflect tone before interpreting meaning. Research from Palmer University proved that humans literally feel the emotions they observe. You're always broadcasting. The question isn't whether your emotion programs reality, it's which version of reality your emotion is programming you to perceive. Neville Goddard's insight, that imagination and feeling are the creative act itself, aligns perfectly with what Damasio later formalized. To feel is to be alive within your own imagination. When you pair a mental image with the physiological signature of joy, gratitude, or certainty, the brain treats that image as a real event. Neuroplasticity then reconfigures your circuits to align body and mind. In that sense, emotional resonance is subconscious programming, repetition under tension until the body accepts the new frequency as normal. That's the difference between affirmations and commands. An affirmation is a request sent from the cortex. A command is an instruction fueled by the full charge of coherent emotion. The first one asks, the second one declares, and the body knows the difference. When feeling and word merge, you feel warmth rise through your chest, resonance in your ribs, a clear sense that the statement carries weight. That weight is electrical tension, Emotion, then, isn't weakness, it's propulsion. High-frequency states, joy, love, gratitude, expand neural connectivity and release dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals that enhance the brain's capacity for insight and confidence. Low-frequency states, shame, fear, resentment, tighten muscles and perception, restricting what you can notice. The universe of possibilities expands or contracts in direct proportion to your emotional bandwidth. Mastery begins with emotional literacy. Not just identifying what you feel, but where it lives in your body, which breathing pattern sustains it, and which narrative feeds it. The goal isn't suppression, it's transmutation, transforming reactive energy into directive energy. Anger becomes focus, fear becomes alertness, sadness becomes depth. Each emotion, when harmonized, contributes to the total current that fuels your voice. From a systemic perspective, emotion is the bridge between inner and outer order. It carries information from the subconscious to consciousness and back, ensuring feedback. Ignoring that feedback overloads the circuit, manifesting confusion, fatigue, or illness. Listening and regulating stabilize the circuit, turning speech into precision engineering instead of random discharge. The ancients symbolized this as fire, the divine element that can illuminate or destroy. Modern neuroscience calls it arousal. The mechanism is the same. Controlled fire gives light, uncontrolled fire consumes. To master emotion is to master fire. To speak from that balanced flame is to imprint coherence into every layer of your being. So when emotion rises, don't rush to silence it. Measure it, feel its tension, ask what frequency it's transmitting, then channel it deliberately through your words. Every time you speak, you're not just moving air, you're transmitting charge. Emotion is the current, voice is the conductor. Together they form the circuit through which consciousness becomes visible. Clarity is power, not the loud kind that forces, but the quiet kind that shapes. Most people speak from confusion, throwing words into the air and hoping something listens. But creation doesn't respond to noise, it responds to precision. The moment you become clear, every fragment of you aligns behind the vision. The mind grows still, the breath steadies, the voice stops asking and starts declaring. That's where command begins, not in effort, but in certainty. When you decide completely, the universe stops receiving mixed signals. You stop negotiating with yourself. The field hears one frequency and moves to meet it. Clarity isn't the absence of doubt, it's the refusal to speak from it. Commanding isn't control, it's standing so fully inside your coherence that reality has no choice but to reflect it. You don't force doors to open. You become the vibration the doors recognize. When you reach that state, you no longer chase outcomes. They start orbiting around you. You become the still point in a spinning world, the center that sees everything and needs to pursue nothing. Then comes the test, trust. After you've spoken the word, the mind wants to grab, check, control. But command requires release. True trust isn't passive surrender, it's active confidence. It's knowing the seed has already taken root beneath the soil. Even when nothing has broken the surface yet, you don't dig it up to check, you water it. You tend the space that's already working in your favor. Trust is wide and quiet. It loosens the grip of control and allows movement to flow back to you. Where clarity sets direction, trust keeps the channel open. It's the calm after the command, the breath that follows the word. You don't wait, you receive. Receiving isn't submission, it's alignment. It's being ready to recognize what's already arriving. The universe doesn't hide its answers. It places them in plain sight, just beyond your habits of perception. Receiving means softening enough to see what your own tension kept blind, opportunities, insights, that sudden nudge in a conversation. These are the echoes of your command, finding their way back home. This is the rhythm of creation: clarity, trust, receiving, speaking, releasing, allowing. A living cycle, repeating with every breath. When you inhale, you take in the signal of life. When you exhale, you send yours back. The two are never separate. They're the same current flowing in opposite directions. When you resist, you block that current. When you trust, it circulates, and life begins to mirror your inner tone. Embodiment is where the cycle completes itself. The command is no longer something you say, it's something you are. Every movement, every word, every silence vibrates with the same certainty. You've stopped chasing power and started being power. You've stopped performing faith and started living as its frequency. Embodiment isn't perfection, it's congruence. You can feel when your inner state and outer actions are aligned. Everything becomes simple, almost effortless. Even challenges lose their edge because they no longer threaten your center. You move like water, adjusting, not surrendering, flowing, not falling. To embody command is to realize that nothing exists outside of you. Life doesn't happen to you, it responds through you. Your voice, your emotion, your presence, they're not separate instruments but facets of the same tone. When that tone remains steady, the world harmonizes around you. Clarity gives direction. Trust provides space. Receiving completes the circle. Together, they form the quiet authority of creation. There's no pleading, no hoping, no fear, only coherence, only the living echo of your own declaration moving through everything you touch. So breathe, let the body settle into what it already knows. The ground beneath your feet holds the same intelligence that formed the stars. When you speak, it listens. When you relax, it responds. When you remain in total alignment, clear, trusting, open, you become what the ancients called the Word made flesh. Not poetry, but presence. Not belief, but reality in motion. In that moment, there's nothing left to manifest, nothing to reach for. You are the command, the release and the receiving, all unfolding as one continuous act of creation. Everything you've learned returns to a single truth. You were never separate from the force that moves worlds. The same current that set galaxies spinning pulses quietly within your breath. The same intelligence that carved rivers and ignited stars hears you each time you speak. You were never meant to beg reality. You were meant to remember that you are reality, speaking to itself. The journey began with sound, the word, the first vibration, the cosmic pulse that taught form how to exist. The universe doesn't judge. It simply echoes what you send. So you descended to the very engine itself, the power behind sound, emotion, the voltage that lights the word, the resonance that gives gravity to language. When feeling and thought align, your voice becomes command. When they split, static is born. You learn that emotion isn't weakness, it's fuel, not chaos, but direction. Held in clarity, it redefines the limits of the possible. At last, you've reached embodiment, the state beyond theory, the place where command, trust, and receiving merge into a continuous rhythm of being. Here, speaking isn't something you do, it's what you are. You don't tell the universe what to build, you rise as the pattern through which it builds. Now, listen to the space between the words, the pause after each thought. That silence isn't empty, it's origin. It's the unspoken frequency that holds everything you've ever created. When you touch that silence, you find the source before sound, the still point that makes command possible. This is the conclusion: to speak from silence, to act without effort, to trust without proof, and to receive without demand. The cycle repeats infinitely, from sound to silence, from silence to sound. You are the bridge, and when you open your mouth again, do it with absolute awareness. Every word, is a seed of form. Every tone, a thread in the fabric of what comes next. Speak softly when the world trembles. Speak firmly when your own doubt appears. Speak clearly, not to change reality, but to remind it of what it already knows. Because in the end, you're not here to shout at the heavens or whisper to fate. You're here to remember that the divine voice you've been searching for was always you. It's always been the sound of your own becoming. And when that realization lands, you understand the word was never just about creation. It was always about return. The voice that commands the universe eventually remembers the stillness it came from and becomes the silence that creates again. If you've made it this far, it's because something deep inside you is calling for more, for a purer truth, a sharper awareness, and a more intimate connection with the unseen force that gives shape to the visible. And now, I want to share with you something that will expand your consciousness even further. Get ready to take the next step. I present to you the Map of the Higher Self, a powerful e-book born from my most intense and authentic experiences. It brings together practices, insights, and mental keys that will guide you on a path of clarity, presence, and inner awakening. But it doesn't stop there. When you get the book, you'll also receive free access to the Sacred Library, an exclusive digital collection of rare, forbidden works removed from our history, hidden texts that reveal what has been concealed from humanity for centuries and is now within your reach. This map is not just a book, it's a tool for transformation. If you've arrived here, it's no accident. This is a sign. You're ready to elevate your perception and take control of your own reality. Click the link in the pinned comment and dive into this journey of self-knowledge with courage, focus, and awareness. And don't stop here. I've handpicked 2 essential videos that will expand even further everything we explored today. Choose one and keep exploring the deeper layers of your being. Remember, the truth is not found in the noise of the world, but in the silent voice of awakening consciousness.